what people told me to do. You know, hey, you're supposed to tell dealers to, clear their hands. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. Okay. But I didn't really know why, and I was doing it. I know I was moving up in the ranks, and I was doing all this stuff right. And I said, then I was lucky enough to, meet Bill Zender and start learning why this stuff worked and what the math was behind it and all that. And it was like, boom! Oh my God! It was like overnight. Like this is how it works instantly, right? And then I was so hungry. I fed on it constantly. I just found anybody or anything that I could do to grow my knowledge even further, but that don't happen in this world now. And if somebody don't take you by the hand and mentor you, you're never going to get it. So, I was shocked. I put 10 people through this, but I asked them all what the house advantage was on roulette. Mm-hmm. How many of the 10 do you think told me that it was 5.26? How many do you think? Give me a guess.
I would say one.
Probably none.
Not one person.
Not one.
I think it's under 10. I think it's around under 10%. So that was one of the answers. I got that answer twice. And that's scary to me, because listen, we're in a business where everything has a value. And if you don't know what something's worth, I tell these kids in this thing, I said, if you had a Lexus dealership and you were selling a Lexus for the price of a Ford Fusion, how long would you stay in business? So if you don't know the value of your product, how much the customer's worth, how much your employee's worth, how much the table's worth, you're in big trouble as a leader in table games or in any kind of gaming. You're in very big trouble.
I completely agree with that because of the fact that even do you believe in cross training?
I think whatever person's first gig they get into, they should learn it thoroughly. And then the cross training to begin with, because you got to have a foundation of something to rely on to kind of boost you in there and make you understand why this person's doing whatever they're doing, and they're part of the industry,
Right. It was very interesting when I had written some internal controls for a gaming regulator, and the gaming regulator said, "I don't understand this," right? And so I went through the whole. I realized, just giving an internal controls. But I'm one of these picture instructions type thing. So that way they can see, in some way, right? But I realized this person was a very kinesthetic type learner. So she had to see, hear, touch, squeeze, and do everything, right? So when I explained to her the difference between credit and debit. When it's your own ATM/debit card that was coming out of your own bank account versus an actual credit card, right? So to explain that to her, I had to use kind of like a Walmart experience. I took it out of a casino industry and did it as a Walmart experience. I said, when you go to Walmart and you use your debit/credit card or your ATM card, and that cashier says credit or debit back in the day, if you notice on the credit on that pin pad, credit just makes you sign. Debit allowed you a pin pad so that you could receive money as well. And all of a sudden she went, oh my God, right? So it just went ding, 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 ding. But so by explaining just the little things to say, this is why, that took her into a whole new realm. And she said, approved, let's go. And I went, oh, yay, yes, right? So then I wrote the internal controls so that department, the cage, finance, slots, everyone could write their SOPs to now change the way that they were doing it, whether it was the cashless product or whether it was full service kiosks or, buying to the table, but they understood
just that amount of information.
Maybe. Yes. It's just that little bit of explanation and training and information to your teams that it makes a huge difference on that table and or slots and or cage for your customers. Just a little.
Yeah. Did you see Dennis Conrad's article he just wrote the other day about his top 10 list? And he was talking about that all the casinos are experimenting with taking back. And they're taking that, seeing just how far they can take back the reinvestment. And he said at some point in time, they're going to come to the realization that that's a bad experiment. They just constantly just keep, testing the water. Because sooner or later, you're going to lose that guest to somebody else, and they're never coming back.
Yeah, somebody's going to take him. Somebody's going to take him. But if it is over, I've seen situations where you got a guy who's loyal to the property, comes in every time you call them, comes for every event, comes for everything. And all of a sudden you're cutting on the reinvestment. And to this guy, you're going to tell him, okay, instead of 2 bottles of champagne that you always have, we're going to give you only 1. Mm-hmm. And instead of 2 rooms, we're only going to give you 1. You got to pay for the other. He says, wait a minute. This is a loyal customer. This is the guy that is here all the time. You can't do that to that guy. Mm-hmm. You have to take care of him.
So 2 of the most amazing comments I ever heard in the business, I'm going to give them to you. This is my top 2, right? The first one is when somebody says, well, we didn't win much this month, but we really dropped well. Well, you're definitely going to drop. And the more you lose, the more they're going to recycle the money. And you're going to
absolutely
well, right. So Absolutely. Then the second one is during the pandemic, is when all the casinos restarted, and they said, "Man, we're not giving them anything, and they're just pouring back into the casinos." Well, you've had people that's been able to do nothing for 3 months, and the first thing that opens up is a casino. Yep. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's cut. We don't have to give them anything anymore.
Now, you get a year later down the line, you can't keep doing that same practice. It ain't going to work.
Right.
It's an easy way. It's an easy way to show something on the bottom line on a balance sheet is to cut. It's real easy. It's a short timers approach. But what's tough is to be a visionary and think about new things to grow revenue. That's risky, man. Mm-hmm. That's risky. That takes some guts.
As you say, Benny, it's easy to cut because if I come to a property and I cut as much as possible, let's cut salaries. Let's get rid of all the top guys. Let's get rid of 20% of the payroll. Let's do this. We'll cut them all. Okay, that year I'm gonna have a great balance sheet. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be awesome. Everybody's going, this is the guy that we needed here. This is the man. Right. Now next year there is nothing to cut. There is 0 to cut.
Mm-hmm. And when you get to stage 4 of that cancer, mm-hmm. it leads to death. And I'll tell you a good example of just, well, this isn't about cutting or anything, but was Atlantic City's slow demise. That was a sort of a thing where, you neglected, you thought it was easier just not to do something. And, it growed and amassed, and you didn't want to grow. You just kept cutting your way to success.
But listen, Benny, thank you so much, man. And we appreciate it. And please come back and hang out with us again. And
it was a pleasure meeting you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited to finally meet you face to face and in person.
Excellent. All right. Thanks so much.
All right, Benny. Take care, man.
You'll be here. Have a great Aloha Friday, Benny.
Take care.
Well, we want to thank Bennie Mancino, the table games director at Rivers Casino. Also, the founder, author, the man himself, the B-Man on Be in the Know podcast on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. And thank you, Benny. Take care. Have a great day.